Okay, there we go. So let me give you host. That's all. Make host. Okay, perfect. There we go, Roger.
Okay, thanks.
Let's have a lovely day.
Great stuff.
Yeah,
Thanks very much indeed, guys. Just a second, get sorted out here. Just replying to the guy there. It's all go, I tell you. Just a second. Just going to have to mute. I've got to reply. So it'll be 2 seconds. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, guys. Chatting away. There's no audio. Beg your pardon. Okay, it's just come to 9:30. Do beg your pardon. I was waffling on there about what a lovely walk I had on the beachfront this morning, and with my joys of spring from it. We've got sunshine in this part of the world. What a pleasure. And on top of it, the trades are doing well. I mean, all of them are in the blue at the moment on my side. I do the same trades I send out. So if you're in the red, or you must maybe on the different price, or you took your profit too early or whatever, but the trades are in the blue, and that's good to see. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Okay, we've got a couple of trades out, 3 altogether on the VIP, and I think 2 are posted on the mailbox. So the VIP got an extra one there. Yeah, that was the NZD JPY. If you're not a VIP group and you haven't got 2.5 grand or more, you wouldn't have got that trade signal. Sorry, the gold was in that as well. But a lot of guys did the gold, I think, like myself, and the strat and in the CPI session yesterday, around about the 1980 mark as a short. Okay, so the NZD USD is a pending order. One again at 59.45. We haven't reached that yet. So if you're going at market, you're going in a much lower price, which means your risk reward is going to be completely different to the signal. Remember that I'll bring them up for you. It's probably easier to do that. Actually, know me all on the same wavelength there. NZD USD, yeah, 59.45. Just let the guys in here. 59.45. And yeah, where are we? Yeah, 59.45. The risk of $80 a micro is based on that price. If you went in at market, all that, you won't get a risk reward, number one. And number two, that's figure, all these figures will be completely wrong. So just bear that in mind. It's a pending order. Okay. NZD JPY on my was a buy at 56, I think it was. Just going up slightly above that. If you like it, that's if you're not in the VIP group, you would not have received it. So it's as simple as that. But if you're in the trading room, you're not a VIP anymore. You're a platinum VIP. So whether you got 1 rand or 1 million, you're still okay. So if you like it, you can. But the trade was sent out to the VIP at 56. And it's a couple of bits above that. So I still think it's chaseable if you like it. Why do I think it's a good trade? Let's just do this first of all. I've got a bit of an uptrend there. It's in the buy zone. I think the yen is one of the weakest currencies. NZD is a sort of middleweight currency. It's come down to support. I'm expecting a bounce. What is the issue? It's always a bloody issue, isn't it? Always a yang with every yin, always the other way around. Anyway, my only worry is this. I'll show you now. If the dollar yen gets to 150 like last week, I'm not saying you will, they might not this time, but it cost about 90 billion dollars to do it last time. They might suddenly buy up a whole tranche of yen to try and strengthen it. But like everything else, even that astronomical amount of money, it's such a large market. Look what happened last week. There we are, or the week before, whatever it was. Strengthen it down there, but look what happened. The buyers still come in because they can't fake it. If the yen is weak, the yen is weak. How much the government does, unless maybe they put a couple of trillion in, which they don't have. Yeah. So the bottom line is that might be an issue. So just in 1/5, they suddenly do that, and that could cause an issue. That apart, if it stays below that, the trade hopefully will work out. Just bear that in mind. NZD JPY. I'll put it up for you exactly as I've got it here on the VIP signal. For you guys in the trade room, you can be part of it. But you will, if you have 2.5 grand or more, let me know, WhatsApp me and say, please put me a VIP group. I've got more than 2.5 grand in my account, and I'll do that with pleasure. Obviously, tell me who you are first. Right. What am I looking at now? Sorry. Just a second, guys. Just bring this up. Try and bring it up. What's happening now? Here we are. Give it as I've got it as sent out. NZ, wrong one. It might help. Right. It's a long, in this case, we'll put it as pending because it's slightly lower price than this. Not much in if you want to go to market. We got it 88.56. Stop loss 87.85. And the TP 89.72, sorry, 89.72. There we are. So if you went in at market, it's literally 5 pips away. Remember, you're going on the buy, not the sell price. You're getting 61. That could bring you below 1.5. That's the original signal. If you're going to instant, you see, it's going to be the risk reward's not so good. So maybe try and go in at the 88.56 level with the same SL and TP. And we'll go back to the pending again. 88.56, the original one. There you get the risk reward, and it's 90 rand a micro is your risk if you like to do it on that level. You won't get there'll be below 1.5. You might be happy with that. It's up to you. Some people do 1.3 because remember, a lot of the time you're not into the TP anyway. It only counts that risk reward if it's the TP. But if you're out before then, that's all up to them. A lot of guys take risk 100 pips, see it up 40 pips, and take it. That's about 0.4. That figure down there, risk reward. You know what I mean? But that's up to you. As long as you're aware of it, that's the problem. We don't want people doing something without knowing why, where, or what. That's the whole idea. Then you can make your decision accordingly. Okay, hope we're all good with that. Okay, so there we are. I've got it saved anyway, so if you've got that taken down, you like it. I'll move on from there. The other ones, I think, posted out just about everybody. The gold at 76, it's popped up a bit. No, that's going to be sustained because the dollar's still pretty strong and the yields are still pretty strong. So I'm not sure how long that's going to be sustained before the gold comes off. But anyway, it is what it is. It's gone up a bit. So maybe, of course, yeah. Just take into account, of course, that the crisis, that's the right word, taking place in Israel with basically murder. That's what it is out there. When you're pro Gaza or Hamas or pro-Israel, it's not really the point. Murder's bloody murder. And that's taking place at the moment. And it's not doing militia. It's not military targets either. It's basically innocent people. You know what I mean? I might not like your regime, but I mean, your people, you don't go around and murder them discriminate. You just, we're discriminately murder little old ladies and kids and God knows what. So it's causing a lot of tension out there. And I think that's why a lot of people are drifting to gold. That could be a little bit of an issue. But otherwise, if it calms down a bit, they get somewhere with it, I think the gold will come off. I think that's been pushed up against the yields and the dollar strength simply because of fear of what's happening in the Middle East at the moment. And it's serious. That's why I'm mentioning it now. It's extremely serious. I was listening to a guy on YouTube, a guy called Ben Shapiro, and is extremely bright, knowledgeable, articulate person. And he made a very good point. When the Nazis did it, they hid the fact. These guys do it. They boasted the fact. And it's not about Palestine and freeing them or whatever. It's simply anti-Semitic hatred. We've all seen what race can do in this country. That's exactly what's happening there. And it's simple, absolute hatred. And this is, well, goes against any forms of the laws, in my opinion, that is civilization. There's very little you can do and understand if you about this sort of thing, unless you hate us intensively. I certainly don't, and I hope none of you guys do either. And this is what's causing the problem. It's undiluted evil hatred, and it's horrible. It doesn't matter who it is. I don't care if you're a Palestinian or a Israeli. It doesn't matter. It's bad, and as I say, it's causing a lot of upset in the world at the moment. So just keep an eye on that. Okay. Right, NZD-JPY I've discussed. The NZD-USD, remember, was a pending one. We just mentioned that, so we didn't get an entry there. The other was also pending at 57.40. I want to resell that again. We did pretty well the last few times on this one, and I want to sell it clearly near the 50-day moving average. You all got the details there on the mailbox. So if you're going to be impatient, go a little bit earlier, well, you can. I think there's enough meat on the bones, risk reward to do it. Let's just have a check. Let's have a look. AUDCHF. It's 1.69. So you win at market, you could probably scratch your 1.5, but your risk reward will be different. So you might have got a slightly smaller position, maybe a micro lower or something like that than you normally would. But that being as it may, you got the signal, you make your choice. You got the information, you're responsible to make your choice. But I'm happy with downside on that. It's nicely in the sell zone. It's close to 50-day moving average. And quite frankly, the Swiss franc of the crosses and majors is the strongest at the moment. Okay, even stronger than the dollar. Oh, well, that's all right then. Well, if that's the case, you've got a big smile on your face, my friend. You have indeed got a big smile on your face, Mr. Manera Fenter. A big smile on your face, so that's fine. You could probably start thinking about putting the stop loss around about your entry level. Oh, that's a bigger smile than I can make. Yeah, well, you get the stop loss, the entry level, and just run the damn thing down. What a pleasure to get a trading idea when you're already 40 pips in profit to sell it in the same direction, eh? Then you can say, I am a happy chappy. Well done. Okay, those are three. Of course, the gold. Just say gold. Well, I wouldn't say we didn't like it, but just bear in mind, NZD-JPY, beware of government intervention at 150 yen to the dollar, and just beware of the geopolitical problems happening in the Middle East, which will drive some money to the safe haven of gold. Never mind what the yields do. Okay. Hope we're all clear on that. Okay. The other trades, I don't think going too badly. The CPI helped us. I shouldn't have showed you that. I jumped the gun a bit. I've been impatient. I'm human. It's my money. You can tick me off as much as you like. I didn't wait. The instructor doesn't drive the car like he always teaches you how to drive it. And I got to be impatient, so I jumped in. But if you want to be patient and disciplined, you can. Not done too badly. Gold's given me a bit of jip, but I went in there yesterday, but never mind. But you can see it's mostly blue, and the trades have been doing okay. A couple hit my stop loss in a profit. I modified, and they hit my profit or stop loss, I think, on the history there. And I made a couple of grand on those two as well. So it's nice to see blue, but more the point I'm trying to make is give the damn trade a chance. I know more the experienced guys like Chris entering will already know this, but a lot of guys are taking their profit far too quickly through fear by the staring at it all the time, and it plays on their nerves and their mind. It's up and down. They see a bit of profit, they take it, and then it flies on, and they could have done better, but they hold on to their losses, hoping it's going to bounce. I'll give you an example. You go into a trade, and you're down, you're up and down, down, and you're suffering and suffering, maybe several days. Then it pokes into profit. In case it happens again, you quickly grab it. So you suffer for 4 days, then it gets into the blue, and you take a minute amount of money. Sure, what a pleasure. I've done it myself many times, so not getting cute on here. We're all the same in certain ways. And then as into profit, it sells on. So you suffer 4 days, down 20 units to take profit at 2 units because the suffering mentally, and then he goes to, so you don't try and steer all the time, and give the strategy a chance. And the strategy being given a chance if you've got enough capital, you worked out your risk accordingly, you got the volumes right. So if it goes against you, you're still in the game and you can handle it. Before you press the button, you say, the risk is 100 units, whatever that's supposed to mean. In whatever it happens, I'm just trying to use an example. Can I handle it? Roger, I'm talking to myself now. Yes, I can. So I risk and lose 100 units. I'm going to be okay. Yes, I can. Then you press the button. You know what I'm saying? If you're too frightened to lose, you're too big or whatever, well, it's not, you can't trade that way. If you can't afford to lose, you're in the wrong business. You know what I mean? This is high risk, high return. So get those aspects correct, get that head right. And trust me, this is experience talking. It'll make a tremendous difference, not just success in your trading, but in your head as well. So it's supposed to add value to life, not put years in you and help start losing hair to get as bald as me. You know what I mean? You don't want that. I'm still remarkably handsome though I'm bald. Hey, ladies, though. Amazing, hey? Nobody, I heard some sniggering there. Celine, I heard you snigger. Stop it. Okay, let's move on. Okay, right, where were we? Okay, okay, so there we are. Those are trade discussed. It worked pretty good to us. We go to the euro dollar. We used that yesterday. Is anybody still in the? By the way, even our shares, I keep forgetting about that. It's been so long. I think most of them are out of them. Meta, NVDA, and Tesla were 3 shares, all of the profits. That's good stuff. Right, NVD, what am I talking? Euro dollar, sorry. Euro dollar, it's still doing okay. So I think we got in, I forgot now, actually. I think it's about 106.20, 106.30, something like that. Clearly it's doing okay. I had a previous trade out. It's completely separate. I had a previous short in the euro dollar, and which I held on to, hitting at the stop loss. And I did the straddle trade, as you know, on it. Completely separate trades. And they're both nicely in profit. This one's doing nicely. Okay. So are you guys still in it, or have you already taken profit on it? The 1.05 people ask the TP, but it's not really think why they put the TP in, because they always seem to be out before it gets anywhere near that. Not stopped out, but just taking it, exiting because of fear, emotional fear. If you stopped out in a modified stop, as long as it's not too close, guys, no problems. Just taking it because you're panicking is not the right way. Now, you see the couple of people are put in still in there. Fine in particular, been doing it for a while. And Vilna's been joining us to trading for a while as well. Not as long, but a fair bit. And you notice they're still in. Why are they still in? Because they're getting the crack. They're getting the understanding. Yeah, sorry. Just dropped something there. They're getting the understanding. Madiri, look at the guys doing it. Still in. 250, it's a 25 pip trailing stop. Just remember that, guys. He's putting 250 and that's 250 points, not 250 pips. It's 25 pips. Just make sure everyone understands that. Madeiras trade before, they're still in. You see what I mean? That's what we've got to start learning. Yulin, again, another name, still in. It was familiar and traded before. So we're getting a certain pattern here. Okay. And I'm assuming you all got very broad smiles on your face. By the way, be careful doing that too much. It gives you lines when you get older. Crease your lines, and the ladies won't love you anymore. It's nice on a sunny day, eh? Get a lot of gibberish banter from me. Excuse me. Just let Gertrude in. So that's good. It's nice and it's in blue. Lovely color blue. I really love it. It's red. I'm really a bit anti, actually. Okay. So, right, that's gone through the trades, gone through the potential ones. We can check, see how they're doing. AUDCHF has not quite got the entry. I cheated and went in a bit early. Might work out. Some guys might have taken the NZD-USD without looking at it. That would have been way below the when to get in, by the way. And so if you did, you might be in a bit of a loss at the moment because it was at 45, a bit above that. But if you're ready, I still see the downside. You might get lucky. NZDJPY, thank goodness, it's starting to come to the party. All right, so we've gone through that little lot. Oh, yes, there was something I was going to discuss with you. Now, this is important. You all listen to up very carefully. The foreigners and that will understand. The newer guys won't. That's why I'm going to explain it to them. I'm looking at a possible dollar rand. Now, what is the problem? Very important, this. The rand is not a cross or a major currency. It's called in the jargon an exotic. What does that mean? It means it's not as heavily traded. So because there's thinner volumes, it can be slightly more volatile. But more to the point is the margin is much higher. Never mind the 501 1-to-1. Very few more 501 1-to-1 leverage. You got to look at your margin by going to specification, clicking on it, right-clicking on it, and then going to specification to check out your margin and divide it in. Most of them on Forex are 0.03. This is 0.08, nearly 3 times higher margin. So you need a higher margin, right? If you're at 100-to-1, even so, you're looking really in the region of about 700 plus rand per micro as your deposit. So if you've got a small amount of money, you trade this one, you're going to suddenly find you're running out of free margin. Get the idea. Number two, the costs are much higher. I'll tell you right now, the costs are a lot higher because it's an exotic, not just quick trade. Everyone has a much higher cost on exotics. You got to take that into account. It's 25 pips. Take that into account. So if you're under, I'm just getting a ballpark figure. If you're under maybe 4 grand, 5 grand, somewhere around about there, and you don't do it. And if you're just starting your trading career, don't do it. Leave the ZAR when you got more experience, even if you got more money. If you haven't got the money, okay, how much experience you got, I suggest you give it a bit of a miss. Guys have got 5 grand above and understand what the heck I'm talking about here. I'm seeing there could be some upside. I do like the dollar at the moment until something radically happens at the government level, a culture change of note is going to occur, which doesn't seem to be occurring. I don't see much strength coming into the rand going forward. And as Danny, what's his name? What's his surname? W-O-U-T, vote, something like that. Oh, Root, sorry, Davy Ruot. That's right. He's a top chief economist, and he says, quite frankly, large amounts, the free enterprise, the private sector guys, the corporations, are absolutely sick to death of being taxed the hell out to bailing out the freebie bureaucrats who couldn't run a piss up in the brewery, to be horribly honest with you. And they're getting fed up. And if they start withdrawing, remember that the bureaucrats, the government's money is coming from other people's tax and borrowed. They're not creating wealth, they're spending it, if you like. And the salaries are an enormous problem because it's all very nice to have a salary, but they're pen pushers, you know what I mean? You've got to have some regulation, I get that. But they're getting fed up with corruption, etc., and they're generating no wealth and taking somebody else created wealth. And they're starting to get fed up and start to look at taking their business elsewhere. Then we could start maybe seeing, well, a long time away, even 30 rand to the dollar. It's the prognosis is not good. So I'm seeing here some upside on this one. It's caressing there, the 50. in the buy zone. So on the params I've been going on about, a bit of a rant. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I see some upside. Anybody got the money, time, understanding to have a look at it, but it's not for everybody. That's right. You heard that. We actually, I haven't heard 30 Rand, but that's just, we don't know that. That's just I mean, it's like saying oil can go to $30 or $150. From things could change. But the point is, technically as well as fundamentally, I do see some upside on this one. And, I mean, most of us know who've come in here, hopefully have got the educational background to understand it's run by people who shouldn't be there. I reckon, I'm not talking about their character. I'm a nice guy, but you're not going to make me chairman of the board of the software department. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. I've got other skills, but that ain't one of them. So it's continual wanting pay rises when there's too many in jobs that are not necessary in the first place. They should be let go, never mind pay rises. It's an extreme problem. I'm not being harsh. It's fact. Okay. Durban was the 9th biggest successful port in the world, literally about 15, 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, something like that. Now it's 330th in the world, 9th to 330th. You get the idea. It's just a descent into more and more chaos. Another 10 million people have been added to the population the last 10 years. Most of them are not educated. They haven't got the funds from the government to have quality education. Half the teachers are not that educated themselves, etc. So it's an ongoing issue, which is horrible on a humanity level, terrible, in fact. But from a trading point of view, I see some upside on this one. I think probably 20, and let's not get cute, Farley. You can always modify your stop, but if you put 21, your psychology, you might think you'll hang on to there, and it gets to 20, comes off. 20 is a pretty powerful round figure. There'll be a lot of profit taking around there, I think. The highs around this sort of level here, maybe 1950, but you can aim at 20 if you like. Stop loss down here. It's quite wide, so make sure we do it correctly. Let's put it up. For those who can afford to do it, please, guys, don't jump in. And even if you can afford it, if you've never done it before, leave this one and make sure you got free margin. Okay, right. Where are we? Now we're going to do a long, put the stops, excuse me, just down here. And we'll put the TP. Should we make it 20? Well, we'll stick with this one for the time being. 19.6. It's a good chance of getting it 20 or more. I get that. You can always modify it later on. Just give me this chip again. Yeah, there you are. Brilliant risk reward. 265 Rand. We want a wide stop per micro. So nobody under about, I'd say about 4.5 grand should be looking at this. And the costs are such that, as I say, just take that in account. I want to be aware of the parameters, but if that's all fills in, you're comfortable with it, you understand the score, I think this could be for those guys. I will not be sent out. We'll never send exotic out. There's too many people to understand it. So it's only for the trading room if you like to take it. Now, I will put it down if 2 or more people like it, but it won't be sent out. Who likes it? Who liked it? Anybody there? If not, I'll move on. I'll give you a couple of moments to check it out, ask any questions if you need be. I'm trying to get to the stage where people know why they're going in, not just because I bloody well said so. No, you're not in the army, guys. We're a Democrat here. Gonna leave it alone. So should we leave it? I'm saving it anyway, because it might be some use in having it there just in case to refer back to. Since things look at it yesterday, and yes, I'm down for a buy, but not for now. Okay. Anybody want to do it now? No, I'll give you a couple more moments just in case. I'm not bullying at all. I'm just giving you time. Nothing to do with it. If you have any doubts, when in doubt, stay out. Don't do it. And it might even get a pullback. It's right around the 19 Rand, you know what I mean? level, but you might get, you can't time bottoms or tops, might come back another 10 cents, who knows? But yeah, okay, should we leave it then? Okay, fair enough. I just want to point it out there for the guys who know the score, might find use for it. Okay, guys, right, I just want to, any new guys there? I'm not sure, but I'm going to put it out anyway. It doesn't take long, but we've got a moment before we can do other stuff. Put out the calendar, you know, the normal stuff I do every session. And my name, do it all now, just won't take long. That's the economic calendar. This is the DXY or the dollar index, codes DXY. That's why I referred to DXY for short. That's the dollar rand, clearly dollar ZAR. Yeah, that was the trade we talked about, Celine. Yeah. That's the dollar index. The yields I mentioned, what you keep an eye on, of that affects market, stock market and the gold. Don't forget, there's a fear factor involved in gold as well. Just add to the flavor of it. And as we've mentioned before, if you've got 2.5 grand or more, I've got a WhatsApp QT VIP group. You can become a member. Let me know if you're not already so, or you add funds or whatever. There's the parameters. Now you're aware of them. And I give you my WhatsApp number, Roger Trading Support. Okay. Okay, there we go. So that's information. Don't forget to save your charts. You don't know how to do that, let me know. In the meantime, do you know how to cut a position? I think everybody does know. When I say cut, not me close entire one. You might want to partially bank some of your and let the other run. Anybody not know how to do it, I'll show you how to do that. Won't take long. And you'll know about specifications, contract size, margin, and all that stuff, how to access it. If any of you don't know, just say so. But anybody not know there how to cut the position, not close the entire amount, but, you know, partially close it, basically. Just take some of it off the table if you so want. Example, it's going up there on the trade, okay? It looked like it could go further, so you modify stop there, and you close some of it, bank take some off the table, they say, and let the rest run. You get the idea. Anybody know how, not know? If we all know, don't have to answer. It's for people who do not know how to partially close, and I'll show you quickly. If you don't reply to it, I assume you all know it. You don't know. Right, let's just show you then. Just give me a second. Right, what you do is you pick a specific trade you want to partially close. 0.2 means they've got 2 minis in that one, right? That's 20 micros. 0.01 is a micro, 0.1 is a mini, 1.0 is a standard lot. So if I've got 1.0, that's 100 micros. I've got 0.1 is 10 micros, 0.2 is 20 micros. Right, my AUD CAD is doing okay, and I think I might partially close it. So I'm looking at AUD CAD as we speak, and I'm thinking there's a bit of, actually I might do it just to show actually do it. It's getting a bit of resistance there. It might not go further down. I've modified my stop already on the euro. I just highlight it, but you highlight it, okay? I've modified my stop, so it is at 86.80. It's 30 pips above the market, but it's nicely in profit. Now it's getting there. It seems to be holding. So I think I'm going to partially close it. So I'm actually going to do that, as a matter of fact. But time is pretty good on that. So it's not the stop loss TP, that's for modifying. It can do on this, any of them, but let's use volume and make it easier. You go to volume and you double click. Another box comes up. You got that, everybody? Govid, I can't pronounce your name, Govid. Okay. And then what do you want to close? I'm going to close half of it. So I'm going to put 0.1 in. Okay. And then I'm going to close that. So that's going to drop down to when's it going to drop down? Yeah, that goes down to 107. Remember, it was over 2,000 earlier on. It's gone to a grand or whatever. And that's changed from 0.2 to 0.1. I've banked a grand. You get the idea. Have we all got the idea of that now? Anybody not know? Because this is important. I'm still at my stop. I'm still protected. I'm still going to make money on it, but there's a bit of resistance there. It might not get to the TP. So let's not get too cute. You know what the markets are like. Bank some of it and then see what happens. And if it does go, I'm on board anyway for the rest. If it does, they get stopped out. Well, I banked some of the higher price and I'm stopped out in the profit on the other one. Hope that's all clear. Are we all good with that? Because this is what you learn in the training room. Too few people come in, and it's heartbreaking to see the ridiculous mistakes that, not ridiculous, the mistakes they made, because they could, if they found time, to at least look at the recordings, but they don't. And then, unfortunately, mistakes happen when they needn't happen, which is a bit of a pity, you know? Are you good with that, guys? Any other? Do it again if you're not sure. You're good with that. If anyone's not sure, we'll discuss it. If you want to look at a trade, tell me. That takes precedence. That's number one. If you're in a trade, you want to see some advice in it, precedence, number one. You've got a spare moment. If you want me to go through stuff, I have no problem. Go through a strategy or things like I've just shown you there to clarify it on all up. So we're all on the same page. And that way I think you will benefit, because I'm telling you right now, horribly honestly, there's a lot of cowboys running around out there who are advising and so, and some of the stuff they come out with is rather questionable. So rather get the proper practice of trading principles in here and adhere to it. And if it's phenomenal high returns and too good to be true, it normally is too good to be true. Just bear that in mind. Someone's offering you a Rolls Royce for 1,000 Rand. You should question that. Are we all good? Anything you'd like to look at? Anything you'd like to ask? Everyone knows the moving averages, how we use them, how it's filtered, how to support resistance, all, you know, these sort of things. Strategies, you want to discuss that, we can. I don't want to bore the Farneys, the Chris's, and the Ewlands, and the Bryans, and the guys at Anthony's, etc. But fair to the other guys, not sure. Sometimes hearing something again can only reinforce it anyway, so it should be some help. But yeah, some of you might have picked up in your research you heard on Business Day or on some area you want to discuss on the news. I might have missed it, or I missed an economic fundamental. Find it's pretty good to keep an eye on those things, and you know, just refreshes. Oh, thanks very much for reminding me. Just about to go into that. I forgot the GDP's coming out on that currency in half an hour. Thanks for reminding me. We lots go on. We can forget. Let's see it, Roger, Mike, because of what you've already told us. So you know, problem. Thank you, Neil. So you know, because a lot of it is repetition. But I say, I haven't met many professional golfers. Well, I have a golf. Well, to be honest, they are professional. My golf pros, not like McIlroy's in my life, to be fair. But the consensus is they hit 200,000 or 300,000 balls a year. Why? Muscle memory. So repeat and repetition sometimes can actually be quite good. So thanks, Neil. Obviously, I like accolades, I like support, but who doesn't? We're all human. But as long as it's not rude or hurts my ego, us men, you know, hey, ladies, we've got pretty fragile egos, most of us. But you can question it, and if I don't know, I will try and say I don't know. And one of the other guys might, and they'll help you out. Or my explanation might be not very good, and they might be able to help you out. Interact. Okay. Not quite got there, not far off it. We'll see if he gets there to hit the sell limit. GBP. Right. GBP AUD, Reno is looking to sell that. Right. Here, I like to discuss strategies. I like to get people to think and put into action what they're learning. And I want to hear their opinions. So before I sort of make mine, I would like someone to come up. Preferably, I'd like them to be confident enough to unmute and verbalize whether they agree disagree or think it's a buy instead of a sell or a leave it alone or whatever, and reasons why, to see what we've learned. I don't expect someone's first or second time to trade room. They wouldn't have the confidence or maybe the practical knowledge as yet, but someone has done it before. There's Ebenezer out there. Some of the questions he's asked, he knows a bit. Eula know, Chris knows, Brian knows, Anthony knows. Of course, we know Farney and company know. Anybody out there like to discuss whether Reno should be selling at market? We talk market, not pending. Market here, or buy it at market, or leave it alone, and reasons why. Who would like to give an opinion on it? I don't mean even experienced guy like Farney or whatever. Someone stands up and we can all learn through it instead of just listen to me all the time. And I'll tell you where I agree, disagree, and we'll add to it together. That's what the train was about, like a family. Who's going to take the floor? Come on, someone has the nerve to take the floor. You're all unmuted. Give it a go.
Morning. How are you?
Morning. Sorry, who is this?
It's Ebenezer
Oh,
speaking.
Ebenezer. Okay, Ebenezer. Great stuff. Go for it, Ebenezer. What do you think of that trade idea? A sell
Well,
on the GPAUD.
I'm just busy having a look at it here. It almost looks like it's starting to form a head and shoulders, but that will only if the price would reach about 1093, 193. And that's when I would probably start looking for a sell. I would not look at this for a buy.
Fair comment. All right, I will say something. I tend to agree with you about worrying about the buy on it as well. I tend to agree on that. Now, so basically to sum that up, he agrees with the direction, but he wants to get a confirmed better price. Simple as that. Okay. Confirmed better price, probably maybe 30, 40 pips above that, something like that. Okay, anybody else?
Yes, let me give it a go.
Good.
Looking at it, it is in the neutral zone between the 100-day and the 200-day. So the tendency is, due to the fact that it's closer to the 200, I would rather buy it. For me, it's forming an inverse cup and handle. So I will wait until it reach approximately more closer to the 200 breakthrough, and then I will go for a buy. I looked at the fundamentals. At 10 o'clock, the BOE governor was busy speaking as we speak now. So, and thirdly, the pound is definitely stronger than the Aussie.
Okay. Right. Okay. Just check the 10 o'clock. Governor Bailey speaking, quite right. That's why I put on the 15 minutes, see some jumping around. Actually, I put on the 5 minutes. It's only been speaking for 10 minutes or so. Jumping around. There you are. Look at the 5 minutes. That's 10 o'clock to 5 past. That's 5 till 10 past, and another candle in about a minute's time. Look how it's jumping around. Okay. But it's not excessive. Well, it might be. Let's check. Yeah, it's 15 pips, not astronomical, not like the CPI job in the US, but it's jumping around a bit. Okay, right. So the fundamentally speaking, what do you mean by cup and handle, by the way? There's the handle and there's the cup. Okay, and that looks like it might have a bullish sentiment on it on a technical basis. I'm getting the impression that you're a little bit hesitant of buying it now. I'm not sure I got the right of the stick there. It's 100 pips to go to there, or a break above. Wasn't quite sure. Be looking along to either take it up here or wait for a break above there, confirm it, and take it further up. That could be a certain possibility, number one. Number two, quite right, it's a neutral zone. The 200 is a long way away, and it's much closer to 50. So it has been a bit of a move upwards lately. Fundamentally, AUD is strength a little bit, but not much. I'm not sure the pound, quite frankly, is that much stronger. The pound's got a lot of economic issues there as well. So to me, it's not that drastic a difference. It's not like the CHF or the dollar on the AUD. There's quite a significant difference there. Yep. Okay. So I hear you both, and I can't really spot many errors in either of you. Personally speaking, I would leave this alone for the time being. Why would I leave it alone? Because it could come off for a sell, and it's been defended this area here. You can see yesterday's wick and today's wick in action. Okay. However, when it does come off, a few buyers are coming in. Makes me nervous to sell it. Okay. To buy it might be a good idea to take it up to there with the stop down here if you get a risk reward. But again, it's a little bit iffy. Now, it's been open now for 10 hours, and the extent of the move within that 10 hours, just over 48 pips. Let's call it 45 to 50 pips. Make it 45 with a spread. Okay. 45 pip move. It's not much happening. And remember, it's a lot of indecision. There's wicks above the body and wicks below. So to me, quite frankly, there's not enough ticks to buy it, overcome the ticks not to buy it. So in other words, I have 3 or 4 ticks not to buy it and 3 or 4 ticks to buy it. That's even Steven. That means to me, leave it alone. So to me, I see more ticks to leave it alone than to actually buy or sell it at the moment. But I would not be surprised to pull back. But then again, I wouldn't really be that surprised to move back up again. The cup and handle technicals might actually might push it a little bit further up, and it's a good chance it might get to the 200 if you can break through this resistance, but it hasn't done that as yet. And with a practice, when you put something up like that, you can see it very quickly. As soon as I saw it, that's why I could, because it becomes like a headline to you. I could see it immediately. You get that with practice, and that's why I asked you guys your opinion. And my opinion, as soon as I saw it, I put it together, I could see that's a leave it alone territory. I'm just verbalizing at length to see why I'm coming for that. So my advice to you, Reno, was I would leave that alone, finally look for a buy, but I think he's probably, I need to clarify that, he's probably waiting before he gets in on it. Okay? Is that correct?
That's true. That's absolutely true. I will not buy it right now, specifically on the Wix itself. So I would like to see how it closed today and then revisit this instruments on Monday.
Okay, I agree with all that. And look again, it's quite simple. I'll make it a bit clearer for you. There we are. Zoom in a bit. Look at that. Is that decision or is it not? It's clearly total indecision. Look at the body on this is 10 hours old, a body on a 10-hour-old candle. Total indecision. Okay, Reno, no, I would leave that alone. Okay. Sorry for spelling you spell UHM. I like it, Umpo. Sorry disturbing and for being late. No, it's no good being sorry. There's heavy penalties for trading Marines to be late. Hey, Farney, this is heavy penalties. I'm sorry you're going to be fined a full bottle of 20-year-old Johnny Walker Blue Label. You can send it to Farney because he has a good palate for whiskey. So there you are. He'll give you its post box address after the 11 o'clock show. Sorry about info, and that's the way it is. There we are. Welcome. Sorry about the banter. We're only having a bit of fun. Okay.
You can send it via. You can send it with post office, which is not currently that much in service, but don't waste your money on PostNet.
That's a good troop. If you post it, at least you can say you posted it, and nobody will blame if it doesn't arrive, because the post office is like another SOE has gone under. Yeah, amazing. Eh? It's quite an achievement. That everything you touch, you fail. It's quite an achievement. That. All right, and people vote for you. It's quite incredible, isn't it? To keep screwing up, they vote for you. I've just given 20 wrong trades. I have no idea about it, and you still follow my trades. You know what I mean? Why? But yeah, I don't think about the markets, but I'll give you trades. They're always wrong. Oh, well, I'll still follow them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, go figure. Anyway, moving along. Yeah, so leave it alone. I'm happy with that. Okay. Anything else you want to discuss? Any other strategies? Anything you like to try and gain value?
Yes, Roger. What about shares with the fact that the treasury yields did drop down to the same level as what it was yesterday afternoon after the CPI? It went up and then it dropped down because I was knocked out on my raised stop loss of Tesla.
Okay, we made money on it. You made money. That's good. Are you in any other shares? Are you in Meta or NVDA? They're still doing okay, or just Tesla?
I was in Tesla, and I still fancy Disney for a sell. So I've done a sell on it, and so far it's in slight profit, but I'm currently in it for, I think, 4 days for the whole week. So let's see.
Okay. No problem with that, by the way. Shares can be in for 2 or 3 weeks. I remember the old days we were doing JSC ones at ShopRite. Guys, it's about 6 weeks. So you just got to accept it's can be a bit slower. Okay, yeah, we had a trade out to get an 87, if you remember. It never got there, so people delete the pending order and either win in a market or they didn't bother. But if you did, no problem. I tend to agree with you. Fundamentally, there's a lot of issues there. Yeah, go woke, go broke, is the old saying. And they're very woke and they're busy going broke, so it's backing it up a bit. So yeah, sell the rally on this. Yeah, my main issue at the moment, shares you're in profit, modify, make sure you're in a profit. My main issue at the moment, quite frankly, is a little bit of momentum could continue to the downside on most of the shares. I'm a little bit wary of longs. Netflix, I'm looking at the possibility, but not now, as a buy. But most of those shares, good or bad shares, will go with the momentum. And with yields being high, it's negative for shares. The dollar index is very strong, negative for shares. And I still think the progression, what's happening in Israel, has got to be kept an eye on. Remember, America is a big player in the Israeli area. They're the world's biggest donor to the country by far. And so that will probably have some effect as well. So from the point of view at the shares at the moment, I think, again, I'm sorry to be boring here, probably more prudent to do an LIA job on it. Okay, that's my take. Are you okay with that, Fani, or any you disagree on that?
No, I think I'm okay with it because also the reporting season starting today, and I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, if your JP Morgan never reached our entry as well, if I recall correctly. Yes, so, yes. But they're reporting today. So I, as far as I can recall, I've read it somewhere earlier this week. But bottom line is, I'm also slightly iffy and concerned. Maybe we'll have a better idea coming early next week. Friday is normally for me, take a chance or go and have a nice beer on the beach.
Aha, if you're still allowed to, yeah. Yeah, hang on. Sorry, Fani. Good point. I meant JPM, not the Disney one. The JPM, I forgot about that one. Thanks for reminding me. I didn't get triggered, I don't think. I forget what it was. But anyway, and there's something called Murphy's Law, commentator's curse. I'm not looking at shares at all. Immediately remind me, JPM, and I think I might have just changed my bloody mind now. I forgot about this guy here. I think there's a possibility of downside on this one. Okay. Sorry. Media said, look at blah, 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 don't do that. And now things downside. I'd rather be down than up on the shares at the moment. Anyway, this is a good possibility. Indecision on, what's today? Friday, Thursday. Indecision on Wednesday. Remember, this is not open the market, guys. Only opens at 3:30. So indecision yesterday, it's yesterday's candle and Wednesday's candle. But I still think with a stop up there, TP down there, we can do a possible trade on that. I like it. If you want to wait till Monday going into the weekend, I had absolutely no problem with that. Probably more prudent, but I think there's a possibility of downside here. And if it can come down to get to about these levels here, or even on a Friday opening, maybe 146.50 or something, I can't see it be sustained much up. We can definitely get a trade going on there with your stop loss maybe above this guy here, these two guys here, and a TP down there. I think, thanks for reminding me, Fani. Just 5 seconds after I said, don't think many shares. This one comes up. This one, I'm sorry about that. I'm pulling back on that one. Possibility of a short, see how it opens and take it from there. I would like to get it really, to be honest, we miss it, about 146.40, something around about this sort of level here. Make it 146.50. Stop loss up here, which would be, what's that say? Yeah, 149 stop. And what's the TP down here? And make it 141.50 as your TP. I think there's a good possibility. Remember, if you want to work out the risk, I can do it for the top of my head. That's practice. But you need to go not to this calculator here. That's for the non-shares. Not this one. You need to go to the Excel one, which you get on your LMS. That is where, if you don't know where that is, go to live chat and go to academic support and get your login to go on there, or ask your account manager. I'm a trading advisor, get involved in trades. The intermediary areas like that, quite frankly, the bureaucratic stuff, to be horribly honest with you, ask your account manager and they can handle that. It's called passing the buck to them. Give them something to do there, or they work very hard. Okay, all right, okay, but JPM, keep a good eye on that, guys. I think that's pretty good. Thanks for reminding me, as always, Mr. Farney. Now, going on to gold, don't know what the hell is doing up. Oh, I do, yeah. I've just mentioned the problem having with gold is that the pushing up there is just fear in the Middle East. It's not backed up by the yields or the dollar, so it's fear in the Middle East. So I'm still happy with the trade. We got one out a little bit low. It's pumped up a bit. I'm still happy with the trade. If you didn't take it and you like it, I'm still happy to go in for it. It's going to have some serious escalation to take it above 1900 for it to get there again if the yields continue to go up and the dollar, because it's such a contradiction. I'm not saying that won't happen in the Middle East, but I bloody well hope it doesn't. Obviously, because I'm sorry, guys, you're losing your gold trade because escalation in the Middle East. There's bigger problems on the escalation, your damn gold trade, if you get my point. So, yeah, so I'm still happy with it. If you like it, we can do a slightly higher stop above 1900, maybe 1905 stop, and take down to maybe 1850 or something, or 1840, I don't know, whatever. But I'm going to stick with my short. I've got my strategy, and I got it, I think it's 78. This is a slightly better price. You want to short it. Okay, to answer your question on the gold. Okay, Umpo. You asked my thoughts, and there they are. It says on the screen there, 145.76. Oh, you mean what price for entry? I think it's about 146.30 or something. I've forgotten actually. Yeah, make it 146.50. If you get 146.50, I like that as a short. And make sure your TP is above the previous little tweezer tops, as they call it there. Missed my thoughts on gold. I'll do it quickly again because I don't want to bore everyone else who's heard it. Gold technically is sell. What do you call it? As regards the dollar strength and yields, it's a sell. What has pushed it up a little bit more is the fear zone of Israel conflict. Okay, good stuff, Chris. I still think that it's worth taking that chance on it at market on gold. So I'll go back to gold now. On market, and then it's get a bit of support there actually at market to sell it down, and you can put a slightly wider stop, make it 1905, and then you can make it 19. That's 20. 19. Yeah, I can make it 1950. 1950 on this one's your TP and 1905 your stop loss. Revised figures with a slightly better price. If you want to do it, put that in your calculator and see how it goes. Okay. All good with that? Good stuff, Celine. Oh, I'll put it up there for you. What am I doing this to every bloody time, stupid boy? Yeah, you get the risk reward there. $40 a micro, and well, we had a bit of a gap there on gold, gap again. So any resolution in the Middle East, that's going to come plummeting. If any escalation, they start throwing the horrible word nuclear around, that's huff and puff. They ain't going to use nuclear, trust me. If you use nuclear against me, one push the button, I'll blow you up as well. So mutual destructive mad, mutual association destruction, we call it mad. So, but it escalates and things get worse. It could have a fear factor go to gold. That's your major worry. Other than that, $40 a micro, there you are. Okay, just get that out of the way. Fib from the 20th high. 20th this month. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's just above the 50% Fibonacci retracement. It might get up to this area here, but it's still within the stop loss to pull back. But I also see it as a bit of support there. What's driving it to me is not so much the fib. The fib counts, no doubt about it. I totally agree with you, Ebenezer. Don't get me wrong. Fibonacci is a very, very important indicator. But I still think what's driving a little bit is fear zone. Guys getting into gold simply because they're worried about this thing going on over there. Okay. I'm saying there's no such thing as making money without risk. And I personally think it's worth take the risk as long as you get your volumes right. On the figures I gave you, like I said, $40 a micro, work it out from there. Hope you train room guys got the maths at 0.02, 0.03, like we spelled it out. 0.01 per micro should be more than adequate information to work out your volumes. If that's too difficult, I wonder whether it should be going to math school. Got that? Can I take it off? Brent, yeah, well, it's not nice because of the war. It's only nice if you're putting Ebenezer if you're long on it. But for everybody else, it's suffering madly with the transport costs going through the roof. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. Maybe how we get so self-absorbed the trading. I'm in long gold. I still hope long Brent. I still hope oil's going to go up so I can make a couple of bucks. Forgetting that the few bucks he makes on his trade won't compensate the price of petrol getting to work and the price of bread because it needs to be transported, eh? Have you got that now? Can I knock it off?
Can I just ask quickly, Roger, what do you mainly look at there when you pull that fib?
What I look at? What? Sorry.
What do you mainly look at now when you pull the Fibonacci indicator?
Can I knock this price thing off? Can I put the calculator off? Can I knock it off, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. It depends whether you're looking to go long or short. Okay. If you're looking to go short, you take from there and down to there. If you're going to long, you take it from there up to there. Very careful, guys. You do not use the candle that's a candle in progress, a work in progress. You do not use this candle. It's not finished yet. You only use the finished. You'd use this one if you need to. I don't, but let's say you did. But you don't use this one to draw it. You can watch it bounce off it, but don't draw it. So you wouldn't use this one, use that one. I've done that before, just a little tip there. Now, you can use that one or you can use a longer term one up there. It depends on whether you use a shorter term. That would also work. You can use a fib there. Sometimes you do something we call fib fishing. There you are. Do you know that? You learned something now, eh? Fib fishing. You put in two of them, longer and shorter term. You sometimes get them like a 61.8, exactly at the 50, exactly where the price is. That's double the Fibonacci plus to go in for the short or long trade, depending which way you're going. Okay, that's called fib fishing. But it doesn't really matter at the moment because neither are in place at that level. So I'll knock this one. It's a longer term one. Okay. So you can use the fib from the higher one there, or you can even choose a shorter term fib if you like, or you can use an extension. But I happen to use it, as Ebenezer said, and I'm quite happy with that. From the 20th of September, it's nearly a month ago, that's adequate. If it was about 2 days ago, and that's an astronaut, and if it was such a large move to make a 2-day fib work for me, it's probably a fundamental anyway, rather than actually got much to do with technicals. So that's far enough away, and nearly a month away. I'm happy with using the shorter term fib. Does that make sense, or is it a bit too detailed?
It's very detailed, but okay, no problem.
Okay, we'll try again because you've got to understand it. Okay, you can use a shorter term fib as long as you use a bit of common sense, look like 24 hours or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
what I was asking is, what do you watch that the moving averages touch
Ignore
the
it.
lines on the fib?
No. You don't go in for one. I've just got a nice candle in bear engulfing candle. I think I'll go and sell short. No, that's a confirmation. It just helps you confirm to go in after you've made up your mind whether you go long or short. What you need is 2 or 3. You got a moving average, argument's sake, right there. You got a support level going back right there. That's 2. And then you got a 50 or a 618 or 38.2 fib there as well. You got 3 right there and then. That's never mind the fundamental. I'm talking about technicals now. That's three very powerful indicators telling you to sell short or long, depending which way you're going. Okay. A fib on its own with no support from a strong moving average or a support from a previous support resistance on its own doesn't really cut it for me too much. I like to have at least two of them, preferably three, but three is not always. You'll be waiting forevermore to get everything in accordance. You might trade it once every year, you know what I mean? But one on its own might not really be enough for me. But I'm just saying, get a couple together. So the fib is not, it's between the 50 and the 60, but it got a previous high yesterday, which seemed to be holding. A bit of a sellers are coming in. I can see a tiny little wick there. I got a bit of a backup here, and we might look at the weekly, see what it tells you there. Where's the price action getting in the way a bit? I'm losing a bit. Where's the price action there? Oh, here we are there. Yeah, is it supported? Yeah, supported back in time a little bit as well. So it's not that clear, but it's supported there with a bit of a resistance there, as you can see, and it is in the sell zone. So that's resistance, there will be support. So the sell zones, this area is not resistance, it's support. It's gone up support area plus in the sell zone, and I'm looking at it now contributes to short. Why is it still up there is a bit of fear, as I've discussed, but will that be maintained? So that's enough for me to say you're not going to have 100%. It's good enough to have more ticks to sell than not to sell, and that's why I think it's okay to go in. Does that make more sense now?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you, Roger.
Okay, thanks. Please, if I get too details or go on a bit. No, I won't take offense. Just say you need to understand. That's the most thing, and get the language of understanding. Great. Thanks for that, Chris. Thanks for your support in the question. How do you know when to use a longer one? You don't. It's up to you. Ebenezer, what are you looking for? A longer term or a shorter term? You might say, I like having 300-400 stops. I like to have 300-400, 500 pip stops, 700-800 pip TPs. I like to be in a trade for a month or more, maybe 2 or 3 months or whatever. Then you'd use the fib on a longer term. You put the fib from, what am I doing here? You put the fib from up there to get the idea. Then you might use a longer term fib. Now you're saying, right, I'm a bit more of a shorter term guy. I'm looking maybe take 80-90 pips, maybe a 40-50 pips, a bit tight that. But anyway, I'm using an example. That sort of thing. I would use a closer term one, not too close. So you got to think a little bit on your feet. I'm a longer term trader, not like years, but longer term. I might use that. I'm a sort of maybe medium. I might use that. I'm a bit shorter term. I might use that. That's your choice. And you can put a couple on. You can put a shorter, medium. As long as you see what the hell's going on. You might have to zoom in a bit for that, just to see. So otherwise, it's too crowded. Maybe you put a couple of a longer and short and see if they fit in. The 50 on the shorter term or fits in with 38.2 on the longer term, for argument's sake. That's what I said about fib fishing. It's adding another string to your bow to go for the trade. Does that answer your question, Ebenezer? And more to the point, do you understand what the hell I'm on about? I hope you do. If not, maybe somebody else repeat it better than I have. You got it. Good. Good stuff. Just before we move, just an anecdotal thing, it might amuse you a bit. I did a quick session with somebody who just started yesterday for the first time. I think he's going to be quite a good guy in it. And I suddenly realized starting, I mean, you know nothing. It was actually very difficult to teach it. How difficult is to teach a complete beginner? Very difficult. Because everything you open your mouth, you suddenly realize, of course, that's new to them. And I thought it's a bit like we're all used to technology now, going back in time and trying to explain to somebody 100 years ago, all things like email and all apps and all the jargon you've learned, it's part of the English language, the Googles and all that, suddenly know what you're talking about. I'm floundering big time. It's amazing, eh? So respect those teachers who've got degrees in maths or in history or whatever, teaching a person who doesn't know where the Kruger National Park is right at the beginning. It's quite an art. And some of you forget hang on a minute. I've been doing it so many years. You forget this guy just started. Hang on a minute. He's not going to, you're chucking out this jargon. You think, what the hell is this guy on about? It's like listening to a couple of doctors chit-chatting at a conference. You might as well speak Greek. How long have you been trading, Ebenezer? Some of the stuff you're coming out, clearly it's for a while. I haven't seen the name before. Has it been other brokers or where have you been, just out of interest? Okay, maybe doing something else. Okay, I'm going to take this off now. Okay. Yeah. You sometimes get somebody new to the trading room. And number one, if they ask a question, then they've done it before because they've got the confidence. Most people who first start are so bewildered, they haven't got the confidence even to post on the chat line. And number two, they'll ask a question. There's no ways they would have the knowledge to ask that question unless they've done it before. And some of the things you've come up with a little bit more advanced than we often talk about. So I guess you've been doing it for a while. Good stuff. It's helpful to have guys like yourself on there because it helps me as well. And it will help the others, you know. Give them confidence as well. As long as they learn the fact they will not be able to drive a car, fly an aircraft, play the piano, be an expert in one trading lesson. Not going to happen. Just bear that in mind. Give it a chance. Okay, let's have a look at our previous trades. What's the time? AUDCHF. Did it get filled? Don't think it did. What's that? Weekly chart's going to help me. 50-minute chart. Not quite filled. Some guys might have taken it. Not quite filled. I'm afraid I jumped in slightly impatiently. So we'll see if it comes right. What was the NZD-JPY I mentioned? That was the market trade. Let's get down here. NZD-JPY. It's about breaking even at the moment. Oh, it was doing okay a moment or two ago. Now it's popped down. It's going to be jumping around. This happens, okay? It's going to be jumping around in about a 10-pip trading range over the last hour or so, maybe slightly more. But anyway, we'll see if that gets going. I hope clearly it does. NZD-USD didn't get filled. But if anyone took it, because they did it anyway, just doing them a favor, I suppose, but it did say fill a much higher level. So if anyone went follow the signal, they wouldn't be in. If they jumped in anyway, well, good luck. Okay. So that's okay so far. Anything else you want to, gold, or we discussed gold, we know that. Anything else you want to look in on a 30-minute time frame using fib on which plane? I wouldn't use a fib in a 30-minute time frame because it's far too short. Far too short. You need. I'm not. I sometimes use in the 4 hour, but mostly on a day. As I mentioned, I do my strategy on the day, 70% on the day, the other 30% even steam between the 4 and the weekly. 1 hour for confirmation. You got costs. If there's no costs and you're a scalper and you're full-time prop trader, different ball game. But you're starting a trading journey. You're new. You got other stuff to do. You got retail costs, etc. 1 hour far too short. A fibbing out, well, I ain't going to cut it. It's far too short a time frame. Okay, no, it's far too short. We're talking about 11th of October. That's 2 days ago. Far too short a time frame. Okay. I don't know about that. Brent is a buy. You got that? Okay, Christina. Yeah. That's why you asked. Answered. Good stuff. That's what I want you guys to do. Thanks for that, Christina. Brent is a buy. There's too many ifs and buts. We're going to aim at, looks like it's fairly positive at the moment, but you could look at the previous day. Been running around the 26-cent range. What am I talking about? 26 cents? I'm talking absolute rubbish. Beg your pardon there. Last couple of days on a $2 range, 26 cents. Okay. You can take it up there if it gets there, maybe there. What sort of stop we're going to have? Prefer have the stop down there. You can't get a risk reward. I sometimes use stops right about 3, but sometimes a little bit less. But I prefer a minimum of 3, preferably $4 stop on my oil trades because I can move around a couple of dollars quite easily. The last thing will be stopped out and then it goes to your target. So if you're doing on that basis, you won't get a risk reward, number one. Number two, clearly you can see a bit of resistance there. And number three, you've got the 50-day moving average, another hurdle to overcome. And things could cool down soon. Or, important, the Saudis have said that they might get stability back in the oil markets by increasing production if it's required, under pressure from the States and everyone else. You see what I mean? There's more reasons to not do it than there are to do it. So from that point of view, Chris, if it shoots on up to 90, I'm sorry, mate, you're not on board, but I would not be trading it at the moment, no. A lot of ifs and buts out there. Producers come in and increase and open up the taps would be a negative, or it could be a positive again if it escalates over there. Iran sanctions might help the cause of more along on it, but then they might increase the production again to overcome that. Okay, you get the idea. So, and the $2 range doesn't cut it. So, yeah, I personally, if you miss out, you miss out. But I'd rather you missed out and made nothing than went for it and lost. You get the idea. I personally, up to you, it's only advice, remember, I personally will not go into it, no. The trend looks fairly neutral at the moment, but I still think it could be some more upside. But I would prefer to be buying down here somewhere. Or even on the 100-day or something. I'm not sure I'll be selling it down there, but if it pulls back, I might look for buying it if I can get a decent price. But go back to Chris, this one as well. Same principle. It's broken through. It looks like a trade. Technically, it's broken through the 50. It's opened up 50. This is a long trade. That's fine. My problem with it is the Japanese yen. Go back to the dollar yen I mentioned. Where's the moment? It's only 30 cents away from that 150. I don't know if they'll do it again. They might not this time. I don't know. But if they do, that will stop you out in your long trade. So then short in case they do. No, the Swiss franc's far too strong against the weakest currency. So that's the reason why I'm holding back in the Swiss franc for the time being. And who knows, we might come off and get a decent one out of it and get a decent run. We've had some fantastic runs, the go-to one. We stopped out a couple of times, gone back in again to better price, and it's more than made up for it. So keep that very much above the radar. And the GBP CHF is another one. But again, I'm not going to be going for it right now. I'm going to hopefully get a better price. I might miss it. But I've done pretty well on this one as well. Here's another one I do like. Okay. And even the AUD CHF, we can get it. I like that as well. We're trying to get that one, but it's just got to get there. AUD CHF doesn't seem to quite get to my entry point. I was hoping it might do. Let's go with the hourly. It's not quite getting there. Got there earlier on today, but it was 4 o'clock this morning. But yeah, I'm hoping it's going to happen. But anyway, we'll see. If you did jump in and take it like I've done, well, I think it should still work out. Just nice to get a better price. Hope that's all clear. Yeah, I just want to mention some. Obviously, I won't mention names because that's not professional. But I've just got from somebody there what call it a screenshot of the trading screen. Clearly, she's using a phone, not a laptop. Try and get a laptop, guys. You want to do this thing properly. You need the right tools. And basically, it's got red on it. Why has it got red on it? Now, when you go into trade, you can have red and blue up and down all the time. So it's no good sending me a screen. You can if you like. I'm not against it, but I can't do anything about it. Just going to screenshot and saying it's red is if I can wave a magic wand and turn it to blue. No, I can't. The market will do what the market does. I'd give the trade a chance. You know, I say get into this one at 57.30. It might go to 57.50 or straight down. You always want to go in your direction immediately. That's not going to happen. It can go. It might do it. It might not. You got your strategy. Stick with it. And this particular trade, she screenshotted me. It might be blue later on this afternoon. You need to give the trade a chance and get the volumes right. She's done 3 trades in exactly the same instrument. So without realizing she's trebled up. You work out your risk at, let's say, 2 micros. Then you go in the same one, 3 times. Now you got 6 micros. So again, you're overexposed. This is basic stuff we can try to stop when we learn the trading room. Just use that as an example, without giving the person's name away. Okay. Okay, I hope that was all good. Okay. Right. Anything else you'd like to discuss, guys? How does one calculate the value of a micro? Okay, right. The base currency times 100,000 is a standard lot. Give an example. Let's do the AUD CHF. Left click, right click, left click on specification, and it says the contract value is 100,000. That's important. It's a very different volume. It's 10,000 or 1 million or 1,000, whatever. And sometimes brokers have different contracts. Some brokers will have 100 contract on gold where we have 10. So if you go 1 on it, of the other broker, it's 10 times the size of 1.0 on ours. You get the idea. So it's 100,000. What does 100,000 means? One standard contract a lot is 100,000 Aussie dollars, because that's the base currency. If you're doing the dollar yen or the dollar whatever, dollar CHF or the dollar, what's the other one? What now? Canadian dollar CAD, CHF or whatever. It's $100,000 or euro dollar, 100,000 euros. You get the idea. So just make it around $100,000. So a standard lot is $100,000, 1.0. Okay. So 1 pip on that would be $10 movement per pip, not point per pip. So therefore, clearly a mini or 0.1 will be $1 a pip movement. So therefore the micro will be 10 US, all America by the way, US cents a pip movement. So on a micro, round about 10 cents, working on about what, call it about R1.90 a pip on a micro. I don't really intraday trade. I suppose the America one, Ebenezer, off the top of my head, because you get it's the biggest market in the world, the biggest traders, etc. You get the volatility which you want, but I don't. I've got too much to do to be on day trading. Unless you're really experienced, been doing it for a while, you're really on top of it, got a lot of money, got tight costs, etc. Be a little bit careful of day trading. Most day traders, I'll be honest, end up seeing their backside, to be honest, Ebenezer. Rather give the trade a chance. Very short-term movements are virtually guesswork, crystal ball gazing. What's it now? ADCHF, it's 32, 57, 32. Whether it goes out to 45 or down to 20, that's crystal ball gazing. We're not going to know that. So day trading is range trading, scalping, got the right cost. I suppose you got the time to do it, fair enough. Probably American market, but you choose. You might, some people like the Japanese yen, they'll be up at 2 o'clock in the morning, wherever it is. Or you might like the Europe's opening at 9, 10 or whatever. But I suppose the American ones, 3 onwards. But just bear in mind, day trading it's be a little bit careful of it. Okay. I don't usually do it. Sometimes I'm out during the day simply because I got a fundamental, or it just suddenly came to the party. What a pleasure. Got lucky and out several hours later. What a pleasure. But I don't particularly say day trading as such. I've done it, I must admit, on the top 40 South African index, you know, the toppy. I've done it. I don't want to be holding, because that was so more volatile than the Nasdaq, and I certainly didn't hold positions overnight. But that was then. This is now. I've got other stuff to do. But if you're full time, Ebenezer, probably American markets. But If you're not full-time, just give the trade a chance. Modify stop losses, who knows? That's my opinion anyway. Okay, Vilna, have a nice one yourself. Okay, Bawani, I've explained how to calculate the micro. It might have been a bit quick because I do it all the time, so I tend to say it a bit quickly. Did that answer your question, or is it a little bit too quick? And it's important you know that. You've all got to know this. I've seen guys with lots of money trading for several months ask me a question that shouldn't be asked at that level of trading with that amount of money because they should have known that. Very, very important. Thank you very much for your support there, finally. Yeah. Okay, Buani, did you understand that? Because it's important. Important question. It's important you understand that. Buani, you still there? Did you understand that? I hope other people did as well. Standard lot on the Forex is about 100,000 contract, $10 of pip movement. Mini is $1, and micro is 10 US cents. Multiply it to rand. Slightly different, it depends on the base currency. Aussie, America, Euro, you get the idea. Canadian or whatever, but more or less. Do you get that, Buani? I think he's maybe not hearing me. Are we all cool with that explanation? We all understand now, do we? Okay, no one wants to speak to me. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay, Anthony, good stuff. Well done, the AUDCHF. Hope it continues. Better do, because I'm in it. Any other question before you wrap it up for the weekend? What's for lunch? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Good idea. I think being a pom, I think I might have some fish and chips. There you are. Yeah, I'm serious. I think that's a good thing. What's that for lunch? I think I'm gonna have some fish and chips. Little place, a couple about just under 2 Ks away from me, does a very good fish and chips as a takeaway. Thank you, Reno. As long as you're learning and gaining value, that's the number one. The cost, by the way, for the value you're getting, I charge is a nice posted accolade, not financial, but it makes me all warm and fluffy. So all warm and fuzzy, sorry. So yeah, if you're happy, you feel you're getting value, don't be what they say. Don't be stingy. That's right. Don't be stingy on your flattery. Feel free to be highly flattering. Thank you very much, Chris. Brilliant stuff. Okay, guys. Thank you, Rado. Thank you, everyone who contributed. Finally just left, as always. And hope the newer guys don't give up. You're learning. Admire good stuff. Admire good stuff. Hope you're learning. And don't worry, you will not get there in 5 minutes. Don't care if you're Einstein. Just give it time. It'll come to party. It has actually been a bad week. Just my stuff seems to be looking fairly blue at the moment, so I'm happy as well. Okay, thanks, Ebenezer. I've come from somebody doing it a year. I'll take that as a big thank you. Appreciated. Okay, all right, guys. A little bit earlier, unless there's anything else, should we wrap it up for the weekend? Thank you, Christina. All good. Okay, we'll wrap it up then. And yep, catch you Monday, those who can make it. And don't forget, it'll be next month, non-farms and CPI again. We'll do those two again the next month and hope they also work out well. Cheers, guys.